What if the thing you're most proud of, your work ethic, is the exact thing holding your business back?
That's a provocative question, Sakil. I think many founders confuse intensity for progress, especially early on. It's so easy to believe that the answer is always more hustle.
You absolutely deserve the intro. Tell our listeners who you are in your own words.
I'm Valentina. I grew up in Buenos Aires, moved to Spain at 22, then London, now Lisbon. It's a mosaic of perspectives. I started my first business at 26, a boutique digital marketing agency, and for 3 years I truly believed suffering equaled progress. I was first in, last out, responded to clients at all hours. The business grew. I was, frankly, dying.
And what did dying look like specifically?
3 months of being genuinely unwell, not just tired. Physically ill, insomnia, weight loss, crying in the shower most mornings because the thought of another day felt unbearable. My doctor warned me, keep going and you'll have real health consequences within a year.
What did you do?
I took 3 weeks off, the longest break in years. The business didn't fall apart. Things got handled imperfectly, differently, but handled. That forced me to confront that I had been choosing to be indispensable, not to build something that didn't need me.
What did it mean that the business mostly ran without you for 3 weeks?
It meant I'd been satisfying a psychological need and calling it hard work. There's a difference between being needed and building something independent. That realization was painful, but ultimately freeing.
Let's define the core distinction: working hard versus building systems. Some people will hear, "Stop working hard," and think you mean be lazy.
Not at all. Building systems is often the hardest work you'll do. The real distinction is between activity and leverage. Working hard is high activity, low leverage, you are the machine. Systems are lower activity, higher leverage. The machine is not you, but what you build.
Can you give a concrete example, same business outcome, one achieved by working hard, one by building a system?
Absolutely. In my first business, I personally replied to every sales inquiry, often within minutes, which cost me hours a week. In my second business, an automated sequence responded, booked calls, sent reminders, sent intake forms, all without me. Conversion rate went up, time spent went down, and the client experience was more consistent.
What does building that system actually require? The setup cost sounds real.
It's very real. First, you slow down to document every step. Second, you tolerate imperfect results during the transition. Third, you resist the temptation to jump back in when the system fails. You have to let iteration work.
That third one sounds more like a trust issue than an operational one.
It is. Many founders trust themselves, but not their ability to build a trustworthy system. It's a different skill, and it's uncomfortable for high performers to accept their own limits.
What are the core systems every business needs before the founder can step back?
I use the 4 engines framework. Lead engine bringing in qualified leads consistently, conversion engine turning leads into customers, delivery engine fulfilling promises without you personally, and retention engine keeping clients, generating referrals, and expanding relationships.
If a founder has none of these, where do they start?
Always start with the delivery engine. If you can't deliver without your personal time, more leads just create more personal workload. Fix delivery, then build lead generation on top.
A lot of founders intellectually know systems are better, but don't do it. What's really going on?
Many founders need to be needed. The business's dependence gives them certainty, purpose, and control. Systems threaten that. If the business runs without you, who are you? That's an identity challenge, not just an operational one.
How do you work with clients on that? It sounds almost like therapy.
I ask, who are you if you're not the busiest person? What does leadership mean when the business doesn't need you for operations? If you can't answer, we work on that vision before we touch systems.
Can you give an example of a client who had that breakthrough?
A client, Raphael, ran a 1-2 person dev agency. He was in every decision, working 70-hour weeks. When I asked what he'd do with real freedom, he couldn't say. The busyness protected him from confronting what he really wanted. Turns out, he wanted to build products, not just serve clients. Once he freed himself, he launched his first SaaS product and rediscovered excitement in his work.
What about the solo founder who has no team? How does systems thinking help them?
For solopreneurs, systems are the only leverage. First, use templates for everything repeatable. Second, automate any predictable process. Third, use decision frameworks so recurring choices aren't made from scratch. This dramatically increases output per hour.
Can you give an example of a decision framework?
Sure. Client selection. A client of mine uses a 5-criteria scoring system: budget, scope, alignment, strategic value, personal energy. Any project below a threshold is a no. It takes the agony out of decision-making and preserves energy for the right clients.
What about AI as a system component for solopreneurs?
Used well, AI is transformative drafting content, research, analysis, and more. A solo founder, with AI integrated into workflows, can match the output of a small team from 5 years ago. The real gain is making AI part of the system, not just an occasional tool.
What do founders get wrong when they try to build systems?
Top 3 mistakes. 1. Building for exceptions, not the rule, which creates unusable complexity. 2. Systematizing before fully understanding a process. 3. Abandoning a system at the first failure, instead of viewing it as feedback for iteration.
How do you build that patience in founders who are used to fixing things immediately?
I reframe failure. In manual work, failure is personal. In systems, failure is information about design. Seeing it that way makes founders less reactive and more willing to iterate.
Let's talk about delegation. What are the principles of good delegation?
Delegation fails for 3 reasons: unclear outcomes, lack of equipping, no feedback loop. Be explicit about what success looks like. Equip people with tools and context, and have structured reviews. Without these, delegation is set up to fail.
How do you handle founders who've had bad delegation experiences and now believe they have to do everything themselves?
I walk them through the failure step by step. Usually, one of the 3 delegation principles was missed. Seeing that shifts their mindset from delegation doesn't work to my delegation process needs refinement. That's a solvable problem.
What do you say to the objection? My business is too chaotic, everything is custom, so I can't build systems?
I've never seen a business too unique to systematize. The patterns are always there: onboarding, communication, issue handling. The system governs the process, not the content. Even in chaos, there is repeatability.
What about truly early-stage businesses where chaos is real because the model isn't settled yet?
Don't systematize too early. Do things manually, iterate, and only systematize when you've done something successfully 3 times. That's your signal to document and build a system.
What's the most actionable first step for someone wanting to start today?
Do a time audit. Track every 30-minute block for a week and categorize. Only me, trainable, automatable, unnecessary. Most founders find only a third of their time is truly irreplaceable. The rest can be delegated, automated, or eliminated.
How do founders react when they see most of their time isn't actually unique to them?
It's mixed relief, embarrassment, and fear. The key is realizing that the goal is to spend more time on what only you can do: leading, creating, and making big decisions, not doing everything.
What does your own system look like now? Walk us behind the curtain.
I run consulting, a group program, and content, all with systems. Every client onboarding is automated via email, Notion, and a schedule. Content is batched voice recorded, transcribed, AI drafted, edited, scheduled. My week is structured: Monday for review, Tuesday, Wednesday for clients, Thursday for creation, Friday for refinement, weekends protected.
That's a genuinely different life than your first business.
Completely. I work about 40 hours, sleep well, take trips, and my business is more successful with far less stress. The difference is not less effort, but working on different things. The system works hard, I work smart.
Rapid fire before we close. Best tool more people should know about?
Notion as a true operating system for a business, not just notes, but the backbone of operations.
Most overrated business advice?
Hire before you're ready. No, systematize before you hire. Otherwise, you hire into chaos.
One book every founder should read on systems?
The E-Myth, revisited by Michael Gerber. The insight that founders build themselves a job instead of a business is evergreen.
The biggest lie entrepreneurship tells founders?
That the hustle is permanent. If you're years in and still grinding like day one, that's a failure to build, not ongoing dedication.
What do you know now about systems you wish you knew at the start?
That systems aren't about control, they're about freedom. The chaos is the cage. The system is the key.
If you could leave every founder with one question to ask themselves tonight, what would it be?
Ask yourself, if I disappeared from my business for 30 days, what would happen? If everything falls apart, that's not a sign of your value, it's about how fragile the business is. The goal is to be optional in operations, essential in vision. You don't need more hustle. You need a better machine, and you are capable of building it, starting one system at a time.
Valentina, that is one for the books. Thank you for being here.
This was wonderful. Thank you for the quality of the conversation, Sakil. It's rare, and it matters.
To everyone listening, share this episode with a founder who's working too hard and wondering why. This is episode 17 of Scale Up Stories. I'm Sakil. Build the system. Get your life back.